All right, the final game that we're going to review and prepare you all on the Daily Fantasy is going to be the Los Angeles Rams traveling to Indianapolis to play against the Colts. The Rams are a 4-point favorite in this game on the road, traveling east, and the game total is sitting at 48.5. Now, for me, spread-wise, I would consider the Colts in this game, even though the Rams came into this game with high expectations. I have the Rams winning the NFC at number one seed in the NFC. I'm winning it, but I have number one seed just because Matt Stafford now does not have to be the quarterback every play.
Yeah, as soon as I saw them trade for Matt Stafford, I immediately thought the Rams were one of the better and one of my favorites in the NFC. You know, I'm a Bears fan. I've watched Matt Stafford play for years and years and years and play on a bad team. And it's productive. And then, of course, he opens out against those very same Bears that he's torched for year in and year out. And or, you know, I won't say that he's torched, but it was a team that he knew very well.
It's okay. He's
for
torched.
A matchup. Yeah, he's torched him a few days, especially when he's in that dome. And Matt Stafford's a good he was in good shape. He threw the ball. Was effective out the pocket, and
76% completion percentage, 26 attempts, 20 completions, 12 yards per pass.
Was not
neither 3 touchdowns.
That was actually that's the thing that. So starting with the Rams in this matchup, I actually love them. I think a lot of people will jump back on Cooper Kupp, and I think Cooper Kupp is one of those plays that you play every week, even if it don't seem like that it's going to be a great game. And that was even when they had Jared Goff. So now that you got Matt Stafford, who won't be rattled under pressure, which was Jared Goff's problem. When you get into those games where if you get a lot of pressure on them, the offense didn't do that well. Yeah. Matt Stafford is 6'4", but Kupp at 6K, and I think that those other receivers that's right behind, I think Robert Woods is in danger of losing a lot of playing time there.
Yeah, Van Jefferson looked like
that's the guy.
I mean, he put up. Yeah, he had the 80-yard touchdown. Now that was a one play that he got.
But he's a burner, and you're playing with. And so you think about Matt Stafford. And you watched him. They had Galladay. They had Marvin Jones. They used guys in the slant, and then they had their deep guys. So as you could say that one play about them. But I think that we'll see that frequently. Oh, yeah, we see
Matt Stafford likes showing off that rocket. He likes showing off the cannon.
So we saw Russ Wilson in the spot against the Colts in this dome, and they lit him up. Now, the guy that I think that you play here, Tyler Higbee, a tight end, he's 4.1K.
That's it?
Is all he is. He went for 5 and 68, didn't get the touchdown, but he played 100% of the offensive snaps at tight end.
He did. Nobody else.
No Gerald Everett in town anymore.
So, basically no one for him to split with. That's my starting tight end on my season-long fantasy.
I think he's in a good spot this week.
He's a good
I think he's
one.
in a great spot this week against the Colts. We saw Gerald Everett get that touchdown with Seattle last week. So I think he's one of those tight ends that you can interchange when you're paying down. But I really like this passing game.
I was looking at the Deshaun Watson, Van Jefferson piece, and a lot of people are thinking that Van Jefferson is taking that away from Deshaun Jackson.
Yes.
So we won't see much Jackson out there. No. We'll see a lot more Van Jefferson, and we'll probably get a big play.
Deshaun will catch a deep one. Van Jefferson, he's only 3.5. Deshaun is 3.3. But, again, starts with Kupp. Think you can play Darrell Henderson again. I don't really like him. But we didn't really see Sonny Michel until the end of the game there much.
He only had one attempt.
Yeah, so if
he didn't have very many snaps either.
So if we are favored, and again, we saw what Chris Carson did against the Colts last week.
Yeah, it's true.
So again, you kind of look at that because you start building some, some sample sizes. So I think you can attack this Colts defense. Teams get popular when they play on prime time, but if you take away that, I really like them in this spot, though. I really do. Too. Love them, especially Kupp. It's one of my guys.
All right, so the Colts, I don't like anything about them. Like, there's absolutely nothing about them that's appealing to me.
They were better last week than I thought. I think the one player you consider is Jonathan Taylor. We saw David Montgomery actually be productive against the Rams last week.
That's true. That's true.
Taylor, I think, got kind of game script out of last week's game when you look at his box scores, but I think he got a decent spot against the Rams. So I think that's something that you can attack in tournaments when you get a player, didn't play that well last week. Carson Wentz, but Taylor did have some targets though. I think he had 7 targets there last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Jonathan Taylor?
Yes.
Yeah, he had 7 targets,
Yes.
6 catches, 60 yards to go with his 1756. So
Okay.
you'll probably get some double
So if
dipping
you
out of
get
him.
some 1756, that's close to 20 touches. When you count the receptions, that is 20 touches. So if
Oh,
you get in the-
yeah, he had
so if you
23
get in the
touches
end
total.
zone, he cashes in his and that's quite possible. He didn't score last week, but it's not like it's impossible against the Rams.
Well, yeah, and I believe that because of that Rams defensive front, there's
Yes.
going to be a lot more quick plays to get Carson Wentz.
You
in
rather
rhythm.
target the run against the Rams in the past. So
Yes.
I think Jonathan Taylor is probably the best. Carson Wentz is check down.
Yeah.
You can play Taylor.
Yeah,
You
he's
can
going to
play
have to be
Taylor.
captain check down in
Yeah,
that
'cause
game. You got Aaron Donald running
yeah.
after you.
I do not want to play Pittman. Unfortunately, he's only 4-3. I don't want to play Campbell. I don't want to play bad players. I don't think they're any good. They're cheap. They got a 21-point implied team total. One of them going to score a touchdown. T.Y. Hilton isn't back yet. But
Here you go with this one. You've got Jonathan Taylor had 7 targets.
Yep.
The highest targets in the game was Hines at 8. So it was all running backs.
running backs.
That tells you something. I wouldn't touch
Yeah.
Indy's wide receivers with a 10-foot pole
Yeah,
this
I don't
week.
really want to play them, and I don't even want to play Jack Doyle at 3-1 or
I like Doyle just
He's
because of the
decent.
check down opportunity.
He'll get a touch. I mean, he's a professional. He's
Yes.
going to get a touchdown some of those weeks, but we're looking at some volume, man. At a 21 to 22 point team,
How did Zach Pascal get 2 touchdowns?
red zone, not a lot of targets. How many targets he have?
5.
See,
So
5
it's
targets,
8, 7,
2 touchdowns.
5,
That's,
4,
you
yeah.
touchdown chasing. So if you're reading the box scores, if you're looking at when people are building lines, they'll look at the fantasy points that he scored because you got the 2 touchdowns. But 5 targets. That's I don't believe in Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think
that's
Wentz
the
is.
height of
We're
it.
all out on Wentz.
No, not
in
yet.
general.
At least maybe they'll get some flow, but just play Jonathan Taylor. Move on. Play him. Move on.
Hey, move on. Makes
on.
sense.
Move on.
Jonathan Taylor. So between the 2 defenses, if you're going to play anybody, you know who to play. Play the Rams.
Play the Rams. Actually, I think that's actually a pretty good play, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the better ones. And Aaron Donald's going to probably get a sack or 2.
Yeah, because when Carson Wentz is bad, he's like really bad, and it's just going to be if he's bad, it's really bad.
And Ramsey's going to be just hawking for an interception in this game. He wants one. And they're going to move him all over the field like they've been doing. Look at that one.